Caitlin Clark just did something that no athlete has done since Michael Jordan.
Remember when Michael Jordan could slap his name on anything and it would sell out before it even hit the shelves? Welcome to the Caitlin Clark era. This rising basketball phenom has just shaken the sports world so hard that even WNBA veterans are sweating through their headbands, and not because of the heat. Caitlin just landed a groundbreaking deal that echoes the legendary moves of MJ himself.
Where he's like Wayne Gretzky, Michael Jordan, probably eventually Caitlin Clark, where it's like individual people make an entire country tune into their sport.
1,000%.
Like hockey was never bigger than when Wayne Gretzky was playing it, and it was ridiculous how much it grew the sport.
Tiger Woods.
Caitlin Clark isn't just selling merch. She's shifting the entire culture. Her groundbreaking partnership with a billion-dollar brand has the sports world buzzing, while some salty veterans are doing their best to act like they didn't just watch their own league get eclipsed. This isn't just another endorsement. It's the biggest basketball collaboration since a kid from North Carolina teamed up with a swoosh and rewrote sneaker history. Only this time, it's being led by a woman. Clark is not only the queen of the court, she's fast becoming the queen of commerce. Stick around, because at the end, we'll share Michael Jordan's inspiring words for Caitlin and reveal the rare basketball stat that only his airness and Clark have in common. You ready? Let's go.
But she's incredible. Congratulations to her and her family.
Yeah.
The crazy thing is I'm just seeing her last year when they played LSU, but she's phenomenal.
Let's break it down. Wilson, the official game ball supplier for both the NBA and WNBA, just handed Caitlin Clark a milestone moment, her own signature basketball line. That makes her the first woman since Michael Jordan to get this kind of honor. And yes, you can probably hear Sheryl Swoopes grinding her teeth from across the court. The twist? Swoopes has been talking more about Caitlin lately than about her own legacy, and now Clark's name is etched alongside MJ's in the world. Of iconic sports branding, these aren't just any basketballs either. They're white and gold stunners, decked out with laser-etched designs marking Clark's most legendary moments. Threes up, a salute to her fearless logo-range shooting, the record breaker, celebrating her history-making stats. Crowd. Maestro, because when she plays, the whole arena turns electric. This isn't just an endorsement, it's a cultural reset. And Caitlin Clark's the one calling the plays.
Making her the first athlete since Michael Jordan to get their own signature basketball from Wilson. She also becomes the first WNBA player to get her own signature basketball from Wilson.
But wait, it gets even crazier. Wilson couldn't keep Caitlin Clark's signature basketballs on shelves. Tens of thousands sold out in under 40 minutes. Less time than it takes Aja Wilson to drop a cryptic tweet. This wasn't just a product launch. It was a full-on cultural moment, the kind of instant sellout frenzy you'd expect from an iPhone release or a Travis Scott collaboration. And just when it seemed like it couldn't get any bigger, Clark unveiled another collection. This time, with none other than grocery giant Hy-Vee. That's right, Caitlin Clark is now pulling sneaker-level sellouts through a supermarket partnership. She's not just setting trends, she's rewriting the entire playbook.
Calling all Caitlin Clark fans, 2 new limited edition basketballs are now available at select Hy-Vee stores. The designs are part of the Inspire series that Clark is doing in partnership with Wilson Sporting Goods. The tribute ball pays homage to Clark's time with the Iowa women's basketball team, and the Dreamer ball is designed to encourage athletes to pursue their dreams. Both are available in sizes 3 and 6 at select Hy-Vee locations.
Wilson's head of global brand, Amanda Lamb, made it crystal clear. Caitlin Clark isn't just a record-setting athlete, she's a cultural icon. Translation? She's not just another player, she is the player. That's why Wilson is going all in, betting on Clark to lead their women's basketball brand into the future. This isn't some quick promo or limited-time hype, it's a full-on brand evolution, and Caitlin Clark's face is now the face of the game.
And when you take into stock the fact that outside of Kevin Durant, aging superstar, LeBron James, 40 years old, and Steph Curry, there's not a single NBA player more popular today than Caitlin Clark. That is a problem.
And now, the ripple effect is making serious waves across the league. Moves like this don't just make headlines, they redefine what's possible for female athletes. Caitlin Clark isn't just cashing checks, she's rewriting the endorsement playbook. Naturally, that kind of power shift is stirring tension in some locker rooms, where a few of the league's loudest critics now find themselves watching from the sidelines, arms crossed, endorsementless. But let's talk numbers, because stats speak louder than any hater tweet. Clark's WNBA games are averaging a jaw-dropping 1.18 million viewers, 3 times the league average. That's not just raising the bar, that's launching it into orbit. One rookie tripling the WNBA's audience in a single year. And the wildest part, she hasn't even hit her peak yet.
We knew Caitlin Clark was marketable, but she's been put over some pretty big names. In fact, some worldwide, huge, international names. 2 of them being Messi and Ronaldo.
Arenas are sold out. TV ratings are breaking records. Social media clips go viral every single week. People who didn't even know the WNBA existed last year are now planning their lives around Indiana Fever games. Why? Because Caitlin Clark brings electricity every time she steps on the floor. She's not just playing basketball, she's putting on a show, a one-woman ratings machine. A walking economic stimulus package for women's sports. She's pulling in fans who've never watched a women's game before. Gen Z, she's their idol. Boomers, she reminds them of Larry Bird. If Larry had a killer step back and a TikTok. Strategy. Middle America? They're suddenly tuning into the Fever like it's the NFL. Everyone wants a piece of the Caitlin Clark phenomenon, except, apparently, for a few bitter vets still scratching their heads, wondering how this superstar stole their spotlight without even asking for it.
But for Caitlin Clark, on a worldwide marketability list for athletes, to be ahead of both Messi and Ronaldo is quite impressive. Steph Curry is behind her on the list.
The veteran still stuck subtweeting from the sidelines. Let that sink in. She just leapfrogged entire marketing departments and became the face of the most explosive movement in women's sports. And with Clark in the spotlight, the WNBA is finally entering primetime, for real this time. Expect more sponsorships, more national TV slots, and a bigger seat at the table for women's basketball than ever before.
The idea of some players being jealous, yes, that probably exists.
Okay.
To me, yeah, jealous, sure. I mean, would you be jealous of somebody that got $28 million a shoe deal or whatever the deal is before you step foot in the pros?
But not everyone's celebrating. While Caitlin Clark is smiling for the cameras and rewriting the business of basketball, some of the WNBA's old guard is chewing on lemons. This isn't just a star with handles, it's a superstar with leverage. And that's got a few locker rooms feeling tense. Let's paint the picture. A first-year player rolls into the league, breaks 62 records, draws over 1 million viewers per game, and sells out venues like she's Taylor Swift in high tops. It should be a dream for the league, right? Instead, some of the WNBA's veterans are responding with elbows, eye rolls, and the occasional cryptic Instagram story.
And what a lot of people weren't willing or were a bit reluctant to appreciate was the game on this young white sister of ours. She can ball. And oh, by the way, she was a great ambassador for the game. And by the way, she came in there and looked out for everybody else. For 22 years, they couldn't get chartered flights. That sister got there and it was done in 2 weeks. That's who Caitlin Clark is.
See, the WNBA has always prided itself on being tough, gritty, and unified, a place where players fought tooth and nail to grow a league that's long been overlooked. Then Caitlin Clark enters, flips the script, and suddenly the cameras, endorsements, and viewership all follow her. To some, it looks like she skipped the line, but what they're missing is that she earned it. The tension isn't just in passive-aggressive tweets. It's showing up on the court. Some players have gone after Clark with a little extra heat, like they're trying to humble her by force. And make no mistake, it's personal. You don't go chest to chest with a player like that unless you've got a chip on your shoulder the size of a salary cap.
They try so long to get respect for women's basketball, and then they treat it like a junior high school girl's locker room. Junior high school girl antics on the court. Instead of playing the game, they gotta be drama because they're jealous. Instead of letting their skills speak for themselves, they gotta be drama because they're jealous.
So what's behind the bitterness? Simple. Clark has what many veterans never had. She's got the deals, the fame, the spotlight, and most importantly, the cultural momentum. Some longtime players are asking, where was all this when we were coming up? It's a fair question, but it's also not Clark's fault. Even Charles Barkley couldn't stay silent. The man known for keeping it real went scorched earth on the hate, calling out the jealousy straight up.
These ladies, and I'm a WNBA fan, they cannot have this Caitlin Clark thing up any worse if they try.
And yes, that money is changing the conversation. Suddenly, the idea of a multi-million-dollar WNBA player isn't a fantasy. It's a headline. But if this new wave is going to lift all boats, the league needs to ride the wave, not resist it. Because here's the bottom line. We're at a turning point. Clark isn't just a basketball star. She's a movement. She's forcing the league to evolve, to pay attention, to dream bigger. But if veterans don't shift their mindset from why her to what's possible now, they'll be left behind while the game passes them by.
So she spoke out against that. She got people paid. She got better travel arrangements. She increased the ratings and the revenue, which obviously the WNBA benefited exponentially because now you got a $200 million deal. All of these things being considered, you damn right. It is appropriate that she got Athlete of the Year. She is special, and she's coming.
Let's talk about that moment. Michael Jordan, the undisputed GOAT, the man whose shoes basically fund entire economies, publicly gave Caitlin Clark the ultimate seal of approval. And no, it wasn't a casual compliment. He didn't just nod and keep it moving. Jordan gushed about how amazing it is to see kids dribbling with Clark's signature basketball the same way generations mimicked him with his own. That's not flattery. That's a torch-passing moment from the jump man to the queen of the three. And just when you thought MJ was done, he dropped the hammer. He said the WNBA owes Clark for everything she's doing for the game. Let that one marinate. When Michael Jordan tells a league they need to start giving someone her flowers, you don't argue, you listen. Because no one understands what it means. To revolutionize a sport better than the man who made basketball a global obsession.
Now, what little girl wants to grow up and play in a league where you're targeted like that? How do you sit here and profess and demand that everyone take women's sports seriously when you can't even take it seriously enough to not act like a junior high queen on the court? It's stupid. That's so dumb. It looks like a soap opera.
Just when it seemed like the Clark craze had peaked, one voice stepped forward to make everything very real. A voice we haven't heard from in this conversation until now. A voice that turned the entire basketball world on its head. Michael Jordan. And what he had to say about Caitlin Clark? Oh, that changed everything.
What if I told you a WNBA rookie was out here doing what no one thought was possible and outshining the great Michael Jordan's legacy? How would you react? Caitlin Clark is the girl flipping the script. Her rookie numbers are ridiculous. Fans analysts, and even Michael Jordan stans are shook.
This moment matters a lot because when the most iconic figure in men's basketball throws his full weight behind a WNBA phenom, it shatters the old idea that women's hoops is just the other league. What Jordan did with that statement was bridge the gap. He didn't say Caitlyn's great for women's basketball. He said she's great for basketball, period. That distinction? Game-changing. But if your jaw wasn't already on the floor, let's throw in a stat that might snap. Your ankles. Caitlin Clark and Michael Jordan are now the only two rookies in NBA or WNBA history to average at least 18 points, 8.5 assists, 5 rebounds, 1 block, and 2 steals per game in the playoffs. That's not just impressive, that's historic. She's not following in Jordan's footsteps. She's literally walking beside him, step for step, stat for stat. With Jordan's endorsement echoing across the basketball world and the stats to back up her dominance, one thing is now crystal clear. This isn't just the rise of a new WNBA star. It's the emergence of a transcendent figure who's changing the way we think about athletes, endorsements, and what's possible for women in sports.
You know well enough that in 1984, when Michael Jordan came into the NBA, the ratings in the NBA were not great. Chicago Stadium was, a third full.
Caitlin Clark's influence is already rewriting the rules. She's not just the centerpiece of her team, she's the nucleus of a marketing revolution. Brands aren't just betting on her, they're reorganizing their entire playbook around her. Unlike so many before her, Clark's era is starting now, not in 5 years. She's not waiting. She's building her empire in real time. This is more than a hot streak. It's a full-blown movement. As Caitlin Clark continues to torch nets, fill arenas, and rake in global deals, the question isn't whether she can sustain this, it's how high she's going to take this league with her. Because here's the truth. We're not watching a star being born, we're watching a phenomenon in motion, and it's only gaining speed. And the best part? Caitlin Clark isn't done yet. She's only just starting to cook. Do you agree? Let us know in the comments, like, subscribe, and turn on all notifications so you never miss out. Click the video on the screen, and we'll see you in the next one.